Welcome to Intervals of Sixths, Learning Note Reading for Guitar with Gene Petty. And before us we have a wonderful cascade of major and minor sixths ready to venture into. So that's what I was just playing there. Those are major sixths. And let me explain. After looking after octaves, unisons, fourths, fifths, seconds, and thirds, we're all going to be now treading in a more elusive area. Sixths are hard to spot on the staff. They're more difficult to locate on guitar if you're not readily familiar with them. We need sixths like we need thirds. They function as producing color for the rest of the notes. If you're playing a major chord and you throw in an interval of a sixth in that chord, you change the atmosphere and you change the function. Now, here's a major chord, G major chord. Now I'm going to throw the sixth in there. Listen to the difference when you put a sixth in a chord. Here's a minor chord. Now here's a minor sixth chord. So, major, sixth, look at that. So, it changes the function, changes the color, and we don't have to really get into that kind of study now. For now, all you have to worry about is counting your lines and spaces up to 6 places. So, if we take the old minor third, that's really what a sixth is, flipped upside down. You see the A, C? Well, I'll play the A, C for you. We played those in the thirds video. Now, if we flip the A up an octave, and we keep the C the same, we get a major sixth. And maybe you know that song, My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. Okay, that's one way you can identify the major sixth. Or if you remember the NBC Peacock. NBC. And, okay. Now, a more famous example of the major sixth is in blues, like I did at the intro of this video. Those are major sixths. Well, those aren't, but these are. So try fooling around with these configurations. There's A flat F on the first fret. You could bar your fingers across the first fret. There are 3 strings. Up to A and F sharp, B flat and G, B, G sharp, C, and A. You know, you can pause the video at any time and review whatever I'm saying here. I may be going over a little too quick for you, but especially in a case like this, when you're looking at the notes, I want you to pause the video and take your time. A flat to F, the first measure. What's the second measure? Name those notes. A, F sharp. Next notes, B flat, G, B flat, G. Second line, what notes are those? What? What are they? We just played them. B flat, G. Yeah, I put the same notes on the second line there. B to G sharp, B, G sharp. C to A, C to A, all major sixth, and those are the blues notes that you've heard before. It can be also done on the G and B string. There's E flat C, E, C sharp, F, D, F sharp, D sharp, G, E. Let's see how they look on the staff. E flat, C, E, C sharp, F, D. Second line, repeating F, D, F sharp, D sharp, G, E. Again, take your time, pause the video, learn the sound of a major sixth. And here's what this exercise is. Basically just what we went over. Review it, take your time. Review it and take your time. Now, the same principle applies with minor sixths and major thirds. Turn a major third upside down and you get a minor sixth. So we have A to C sharp, major third. C sharp to A, we're going to bring the A an octave higher. That's a minor sixth. Here was your major sixth. Here's a minor sixth. Here's a major sixth. Here's a minor sixth. Now the way they're formed naturally on the guitar, and this is what we're really looking for, intervals that form in a natural way on guitar. Look at the bar chord, G major bar chord. I don't expect you to get your fingers all wrapped around that. Just put your fingers on the blue notes there, the second and first finger. And there's your minor sixth. Your major sixth, minor sixth. Big difference from one little fret. Alright, so we got a color coding here. A to F, B flat G, B G, and C A flat. Now notice that I didn't write the G sharp where there's an A flat. Why is that? Because you have to have the correct amount of letter counts, in this case 6. If it was a G sharp, the letters would have only added up to C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it wouldn't have been 6. You need the A, and since it's not a G sharp, it's got to be an A flat. Well, why is it an A flat and not just a plain old A? To answer this involves scale and key study that will be explained in part 2. For now, we just need to take at face value and learn the names of these notes and intervals. Later you'll understand why we use sharps and flats. So here are the notes as they appear on the staff. A, F, B flat, G flat, B, G, C, A flat. Look at the notes. Don't just look at the color coding on the right. Look at the black and white. The black and white ink, okay? A, F, B flat, G flat, B, G, C, A flat. Learn to recognize the sound of the minor sixth. Now, just like major sixth, the minor sixths also work on the adjacent strings. So move it over to the D string and the B string, and you get EC on the right there, F, D flat, F sharp, D, G, E flat. Okay. Now let me just explain this side note once and for all. The moving of up and down, sideways on the guitar has multiple meanings. Every day I teach a lesson, I tell a student to move up a fret. They're more than likely to move down. whenever I say move to the next string down, they move to the next string up. So aren't you glad you're learning notes? Now I can tell you, play an A, and you go to an A, instead of jumping up and down 3 frets or something like that. Knowing where your notes are on your frets, knowing what it is in the music, can help you play guitar immensely. So, this time I wrote them out vertically. That means you play them at the same time, E and C, but you can play them one at a time. We're not being strict about that here at this point. That'll be when we talk about rhythm. Okay, but first, try these together. E, C. Say the note, read the black and white ink. F, D flat. F, D flat. Look at the notes. F sharp, D. That's the sound of a minor sixth. G, E flat, minor sixth. So, you're going to basically do the 1 minute exercise here. And you don't have to do it just 1 minute. You can take 3 minutes or whatever it takes to do each one. Name the notes each time you play them, like this: A, F, B flat, G flat. You can look over to the color-coded notes, but look back at the black and white notes. Look at the ink and learn the names. Learn to identify what these intervals are. Pause the video and keep it steady on this scene here, so you don't have to hear me talking, and you can do it yourself and listen carefully. Listen to yourself do that. Play E, C. And know that it's a what? What are we looking at here? These are minor sixths, okay? Get the sound in your head. And go back and review all the sounds that we've reviewed so far. We did the octaves. Go back and listen to what an octave sounds like. I just played 2 octaves there. Here's another octave. Here's another octave. Here's another octave. Okay? How about a fifth? Someone play me a fifth out there. That's it. That's the sound of a fifth. Listen to that droning sound. How about a fourth? 2 open strings will give you a fourth. Move it up a couple frets. There's your fourths, okay? And how did a tritone sound? Think of Purple Haze. That was a tritone. Tritones. And we talked about seconds, which are 2 frets away. Minor seconds. Yeah, those are major seconds, 2 frets away. Minor seconds, half a step away, 1 fret away. Get the sound of these intervals in your head. You can play a minor second with the strings, 2 strings. Listen to that. We didn't really go over that with minor seconds. That's how they sound when they're right next to each other at the same time. Here's a unison. Here's a minor second. Okay, so these are the minor sixths. Get it in your head. And remember, go back and get the major 6 as well. And this is Gene Petty. See you in the next video.